Super Smash Bros. Came out on the Nintendo 64 in the year 1999. For that into perspective, I was 9 years old. This was my first fighting game like this. I didn't have many friends to play with back then, so I'd play with my cousins when they visited, who were not gamers, and I would always win. And then I would also play with my neighbors and my younger brother, and they weren't really into Smash Bros. A lot. However, I always played it, and I sunk many hours of my young life into the game. Jumping a few years to the year 2001, I had the GameCube, and I would play some of the great games like Pikmin, Luigi's Mansion, Super Mario Sunshine. Yet, they didn't matter to me as much as Super Smash Bros. Melee when that came out. I played Melee for a long time, and would go back to it even more over games like Metroid Prime 1 and 2, which I love to this day. Next up, we have Super Smash Bros. Brawl, released on the Wii in 2008. And while it didn't catch me like the original Melee or Smash Bros., it was a lot of fun. Then we had, and this is where things get confusing, Super Smash Bros. Again, but this time for the Wii U and 3DS. But it was not a remake, it was the next installment. I played some of it on the Wii U and the 3DS versions, and I even streamed it a little bit from time to time. But I was starting to lose interest in the series, and it just wasn't feeling fresh to me or new, even though it had some of the coolest characters and some of the best controls any fighting game could have. But finally, we get to the latest entry, the ultimate entry if you'd say, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. But is it really the ultimate entry that everyone's saying it is, or does it fall flat? Let's find out in this week's episode of Kind of Late Reviews. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate does have a story. While it's not much, the world has been attacked by Galeem and his Master Hand's army, and they wiped out all the fighters in kind of a Thanos style, except for Kirby. And then it's up to Kirby, in the world of light, to fight his fellow fighters and release them from the clutches of Galeem. Sakurai and his team always make sure to have the best looking games and best playing games balanced for the Nintendo systems that they are targeting, and Ultimate is definitely the best looking Smash game to date. Let's start with the characters. Each and every one is designed with love and care. Even the Echo Fighters and all their alternative costumes make the characters feel unique and well thought out. A lot of the characters have subtle updates to match their most recent adventures, like how Link is now in his Breath of the Wild tunic. Stage design is great as expected since every stage is here, and some new ones are added. They're able to keep the look and feel of all the old stages, even from way back when they first came out on the Nintendo 64. Menus are clean and easy to navigate compared to some of the past titles. Overall, this is the best looking Super Smash Bros. Game to date. The sound team got to have a field day with this game. There's so many remixes in the game, and it's absolutely insane. They're all great, and I would buy the soundtrack for this game in a heartbeat, even if it cost me an arm and a leg, since there's so many songs in this game. The fact that they allow you to use your Switch as basically an iPod for the music shows just how much they knew that people loved this music. I could talk about the music all day, but let's move on and talk about other sounds in the game. Weapon and item sounds are great and sound crisp, and they would sound like what you think they would sound like. Voices are what you would expect, minimal and all sounding like they are trying to hit each other. The voice announcer, Xandar Mobus, brings his A-game to another title in the series, and I hope he'll be doing the announcer's voice for years to come. This game plays and controls about how you would expect it would. You have your direction attacks, grabs, blocks, and basic movements from all the other games. The controls have been refined and feel tighter and better than ever before. Also, there's a lot of balance to the controls to make the game more fair and less exploited, like shield rolls being less useful the more you do it in a row. Ledge grabs have a limited amount of time, and characters being able to hold on. Makes the experience feel better. The ability to find out how much your attacks do and see the trajectory in the training is a nice touch. The game board to the story mode is interesting and somewhat overwhelming at times. This game plays about how you'd expect it would, and constantly being updated and refined to make it better. Multiplayer is alright. It seems to go with the connection over what you prefer to be playing, which is a double-edged sword since you could be playing with rules you don't want to, but you actually get to play the game instead of it being a total lag fest. Some other issues I have with the game is that it just feels like it's a better controlling Smash Bros., which I know for the majority of you is great, but to me it just feels bold and the same. Basically, I just don't play as much as I thought I would. I've yet to finish the World of Light story. I'm about, mostly done with it. It just feels too long and kind of convoluted to get through at times. Also, unlocking all the characters takes a long time. I was hoping it would have been a bit faster or easier to do, but These issues are mostly minor, so it really doesn't affect the overall image of the game. So there you have it, my review of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Is it the ultimate game in the series? I would have to say yes, and it's going to be hard to top from now on. Just like Zelda, Nintendo has kind of screwed themselves for the coming future on this series. They have to go bigger and better from now on, otherwise they'll just get a lot of backlash for not doing so. But anyway, there you have it, another great entry in the series with great visuals, amazing music, and tight controls. While playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on its only console, the Nintendo Switch, I played 13 hours of the World of Light, mostly as Donkey Kong for his wind-up punch attack, and I unlocked 57 characters so far. Thank you for your time, I appreciate you valuing my opinion of this game. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe for more. Super smash that like button, helps out the channel. Share this video with your friends, family, and even your pets. Let me know what you think about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in the comments below. I'm already late for our next review, see you then.